take a film, stick Spider-Man and Rey from Star Wars, Daisy Ridley.
Oh, Daisy, 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 Daisy.
Set it in a dystopian world. Give it a 4-year troubled production and see what happens. Chaos Walking. What do I think? Okay, so yes, Chaos Walking is directed by Doug Liman and it's had a troubled production. It went into production in 2017. It had numerous reshoots in 2019. And here we are in 2021. Unfortunately, we couldn't see it at the cinema. I don't know if that's a good thing. But here it is on streaming. Now, I've got to admit now that yes, I paid for it. I paid £15.99. Not only because I support the box office, I support the film studios, and as they're missing out on box office takings, it's the least I could do. But because I wanted to see the surroundings of this new world and the stars in the best possible quality. I had 4K HDR with Dolby Atmos. It looked beautiful, it sounded beautiful, but was the film any good? It's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to praise it. I'm not going to say this is the best film ever released just because it's got my sweetheart Daisy in.
Oh, Daisy, 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 I love you.
No, there are problems with the film, pacing problems. There's also some cuts that I wasn't really happy with. One of the cuts at the beginning of the film, we go from a spaceship tumbling out of control, burning up through the atmosphere, to climbing out of a window. So yeah, there were numerous cuts, and like I say, the pacing was a bit slow in places, but overall it was an entertaining film. So the story takes place in 2247 on the New World, which is a planet that's been discovered by humans, and they start to colonize this planet. And Daisy Ridley Viola is part of an expedition, a second expedition, or a second wave. Yes, we don't like to hear things like second wave. Who's come to this planet with another load of settlers on board like a big mothership that's got 4,000 people on it. Tom Holland, who plays Todd, do you know what? I can't remember what his second name is in the film. They never really tell us what his name is in the film. Yeah, you'd think that they would tell us. Anyway, he plays Todd, who's part of this kind of like little village that's run by Mads Mikkelsen, who in this film looks like he's come from a 1970s porno disco film. Yeah, with a really big fluffy coat. So they all live in this little encampment, and they fear the alien population over on the other side that supposedly had killed all the women. That's right, there are no women on this planet. That's not a very good planet to land on, yes. Enter Daisy Ridley Viola, falling from the sky into my arms. I mean, falling from the sky, crash landing on the planet, and confusing the local population because she's a woman, yes. And Todd, no, I don't know his last name, I can't remember it. Todd tries to protect Viola and save her, help her, keep her out of the clutches of Mads Mikkelsen and his little merry band of posse. But that all sounds very exciting and adventurous, but there's one little addition to this film that I've actually left out. That's right, thought bubbles. Yes. Not only do we have them in cartoons and comic strips, but the population of this little encampment, all the male, whenever they think of something, we get these coloured rainbows emanating from their heads, and we can hear all of their thoughts. So you can't keep anything secret from young Daisy. No, you can't. Now, it's a novel idea. It works quite effectively. There are some funny moments where Todd's character says a few things or thinks a few things, and it's very comical. And he imagines things as well before being interrupted by young Viola. We also get to see kind of flashbacks in these cloudy coloured images, so there's no need to set up separate clips or flashback clips for the film. Whenever someone thinks about something, we get these images in the cloud, like Todd's mum. Yeah, so I was trying to think of his name. Most of the effects are practical, apart from like these rainbow bubbles exploding out of their heads. And we do get an occasional one glance of the alien population, and it looks bloody weird. It looks bloody weird. Yeah, the head is way too small. It reminds me of a scene in Beetlejuice when he was waiting there on the waiting room, and there was those two figures with really tiny heads. Yeah, they didn't need to have that in it. We only saw a glance of this species for maybe 10 seconds. It was pointless having it in it, so I don't know why they bothered. But other than that, yeah, it was a fairly entertaining film. I'm not going to say it's crap, because it does have some redeeming features. I did kind of like the rainbow bubbles. It's certainly very different and it's very new, and it had a novel feel to it. And like I say, there were some good flashback and good thoughts coming out of some of these bubbles, which made me laugh. But after a while, it could get distracting and it could get a bit annoying with all these men and their bubbles. So as I say, the cast stars Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland, Mads Mikkelsen. We also get David Aiello, I think his name is pronounced. He plays this really mad preacher that's gone off the rocks. And we also have Kurt Sutter, yeah, the creator of Sons of Anarchy. And Damien Bashir as well, from Godzilla vs. Kong. So yeah, a pretty good cast. Like I say, it's had its production problems. It's had a trouble pass. They finally did get it to screen though, but it's not going to be as successful as maybe they hoped it was going to be. And I can see how tricky this would be, bringing a book to the screen, when the main focus of this film is coloured thought bubbles. You know, how do you see that? How do you keep the audience engaged and not annoy them, because this is just coming out all over the place? I did watch it on my Apple 4K TV in 4K, which looked beautiful, looked glorious. The greens were bright green, the lush vegetation, the bubbles were all multicoloured, so bright purples and greens and yellows. So it looked really good. The sound was Dolby Atmos. The surround is really good, especially when they had a rainstorm scene and there was just rain all the way around my head. As for the overheads, they didn't really burst that much, maybe once or twice. It was mainly the surrounds that had the most impact on the audio track. But the dialogue audio was really crisp as well, so there was no problem with not hearing anybody. But yeah, it's an okay film. It's an entertaining film. It'd be interesting to see maybe a couple of special features on the Blu-ray when it comes out. You know, the production, what happened, you know, how the production stopped, how it started, and, you know, maybe some problems that they've experienced and how they got around them. So, yeah, I probably will pick it up. There is a 4K steelbook coming out, but I've got to pick it up. It's got Daisy in it, isn't it? I've got to pick it up. Yeah, so how would I rate on a scale of 1 to 10? Because it was just okay, but it's got Daisy Ridley, so that's a plus. I would give it maybe 6 floaty coloured bubbles out of 10. 6 is good for me. It's kind of my middle ground. So I didn't want to give it too low a score because I was entertained and I did see some good elements of the film. And as I say, the thought bubbles really weren't that annoying. And it was, you know, it was kind of entertaining. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Chaos Walk-In, starring Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. Like the video by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Stick down in the comments, have you seen the film? Did you enjoy the film? Did you not enjoy the film? I kind of get a feeling that maybe there's going to be more negatives than positives, but we're all different. We all like different things, but it does help when Daisy Ridley is in the film. Yes. Anyway, until the next video, bye!